naval map with 2 spawns, Dear Hydri is making an appearance.
Right, looks like our players are pinging their spawns to each other. Looks like pink are going to 2 separate spawns.
Which only makes sense for the map control. The map dominance play. Here we go. So, in our teams today, in our second game of the Swiss mode of the Battle of the Ancients tournament, in Team Pink on a North spawn. Team Pink is another reference. I hope we might be able to get a chance to discuss that later. CorgiArmy and Big Danny. Big Danny being our Ancient, CorgiArmy being our current whippersnapper, as WrongCat described. Want to introduce the orange players, WrongCat? Because I think I have a bit of a bias against them. And hello, look at these guys here.
So look at these two cuddle up nice and cozy. Here we got in the orange team, we have got Nimzo and Pwn4Two. Nimzo being our current Pwn4Two, counting as our Ancient for today. We have 1 naval and 1 air factory going out. Looks like we're going for exclusively naval, which makes sense given that this is a naval map. And I'm not seeing any air yet from the pink team. Looks like they are only going for naval. Oh, there comes the air a little bit late. That's okay, as the scouting is really going to be done by these fast-moving piranhas. They're going to take the place of the eponymous docks.
Well, this is something of a mix-up here. Double commanders in the close spawn. The way this is typically played when it gets to competitive is you get someone trying to rush these 4 metal in between these mountains here. And as a result of that, what you find is you get torpedo launchers, that's the word I was looking for, turtles, turret, torpedoes, sat there between those mountains, and then pelters as well, just shelling the base up there. So what pink are doing right now, what they need to be doing, is realising what's going on and reacting to this. The other guy on the far side here in this secluded bay needs to send assistance and needs to get expanding like wildfire, because Team Orange, spawning together here, will be taking out the top pink base with the force of 2 commanders.
Right, now we have a commander fight going on now, and it looks like this is going to be a very early commander pop. That pink commander is very exposed. He's got 3 orcas and a commander all firing at him. Is he going to be able to get out of their range in time? Yes, he is. But he has gone down to 37% of his health. Orange is in hot pursuit. Commander does not move as fast as those ships. Torpedo launcher up for pink. Orange commander aggressively pushing around the mountain, trying to build a torpedo launcher of his own. The orcas are focusing on torpedo launcher, knowing that poses a threat to the orange commander. The pink orca is going to be destroyed by the 3 orange orcas. Pink commander looks like he's going to get away scot-free, but this base is going to fall. Orange commander now leading the charge, pushing out in front, taking up the damage. Orange knows that he can afford to tank that and he will survive this. The pink commander needs to run away. Looks like that early aggressive push from Orange has worked, and pink have had to forfeit this base.
It's a real big momentum winner for this orange team here, taking out this pink base. That sets them back on the early eco. They haven't managed to kill a comm, but ultimately they've halved pink's eco so far. Meanwhile though, the pink player on the other side has expanded a little bit, better than the orange guys have, although they're expanding onto their island. The other pink commander though got away with a bit of a chip to his paintwork, down to 34% of his commander's vitality there, getting nice and safe onto the island away from prying torpedoes. But look at this, the orange commander has pushed all the way up and is colonising the still warm pink base.
I'll be honest with you, that is such a huge loss this early on, losing all that eco, all those factories, all that build power and that commander health there. Pink have got some real making up to do here. They have got to be aggressively expanding, taking up all the eco they can. They need to leapfrog and overtake Orange in the eco game to pull this back. And I think they probably know that at this point.
Yeah, Pink need to get up some... I don't really see how they can do it, personally. I wonder, could they go for a full-on airplane? Not really, because of the power of narwhals in anti-air. We've got some pink pings saying, "Oh, look, let's expand down there. Move your commander down there if you can." But yeah, so not really an airplane as an option. They could go mass submarines to try and counter the orcas and keep them at bay. Ha ha ha, water pun. they don't really have the eco to go for T2 right now, because look at the economies there. Orange up 50 mechs. And in fact, starting to invade Pink's island here as well. Orange put up a vehicle factory on that peninsula, which is going to start pressuring this green column who's had to retreat already. And he's just not getting any respite.
And you can now see these orcas starting to come around the headland here. I suspect these mechs are going to be the next things out, although they're also taking out the factories. Have they got any AA in there? No, they don't. That is a potential weak point in their armour, but there's now some air support from Orange coming in to go and fend away. There are no bombers or torpedo bombers coming out from the Pink base either, so actually that air support wouldn't be as useful as perhaps one might hope. They've already lost one mech in the base, and it's all about seeding map control here. Again, they need to be really pushing out, taking out all of the mechs they can around the back side of the planet, hoping that the Orange focus so hard on trying to knock down their front door that they leave their rear alone.
Pink here being forced to respond with their commander to these two orcas. Meanwhile, down to the south here, we've had an Orange orca try to intercept a Pink naval fabber that was going down to this four mechs expansion, and the orca successfully does so. No more naval fab down there. That slowed the expansion. Fabber count now down to 3 for the Pink team. That is not good news. 2 of which are air fabbers, no less.
Oh goodness.
And it's not looking good for them. Orange pinging, saying that's the way we're going to expand. And honestly, I don't see a response here for Pink. I really don't. That early momentum was just too strong.
We've now got the hover tanks coming out, the drifters for both teams actually. The obvious choice on a map of this kind. Are the drifters going to be any form of counter to full-on naval units? I very much doubt it, especially when you've got drifters of your own being produced by Orange there as well.
They're good against subs because, of course, subs can't shoot them, but when it comes to drifters versus orcas, well, we're about to have a look, aren't we? Pop, outranged completely. Nothing there, unfortunately. Sir, please go home and reconsider.
I'm just trying to see what Pink can do differently to try and outplay Orange at this point. Interestingly, look at the ecos.
Yeah, they've just equalised. This expansion down here has done it, and the air fabs into the middle here and here have done it.
We now have actually a commander that would be exposed. I don't think Pink perhaps realise the target that they have in front of them. They can see a radar blip. They don't realise that it's a commander.
What? T2 Typhoon.
Here come the Typhoons. Right, the T2 Naval has come out to play now. This is a real game changer.
And Leviathan following those up. That's not looking tasty. You're going to need some anti-air for that, and you really need to kill off the metal in order to stifle Typhoons from being even remotely useful. If you can stall Orange's metal, which they are struggling for at the moment, probably because of the Typhoon, to be honest. If you can stall that, then you'll be in a good place to negate that. But of course, you need the anti-air to deal with those drones. They have got air superiority, which is fortunate, but of course those drones
are a nuisance.
A constant nuisance, exactly. The squalls squalling around, being an absolute pain in the metal proverbial.
But as you say, they are a huge blight on Orange's economy. The Typhoon, perhaps not the obvious choice for me. I perhaps err on the side of using the battleships because they don't really cost anything. You send one of those out the door and it just goes to town, and you don't have to commit any more metal to your armies from there.
I mean, I can kind of see the rationale because you can sit the Typhoon around the headland here and it'll just fire those drones straight into the base and just be an absolute...
But then, as you say, it will then be a drain on both players' economies. For my money, what you want to do is sit a battleship way out at sea and just lob shells at your bad guys, like we're seeing here. And those orcas, there's nothing they can do about this.
Yeah,
there's no counter to this except kill the thing which is spitting out all the bad stuff.
And the only way they can really do that is with a sub-spam, and as the commander approaches, what they could do here is get a Kraken submarine out of this. That could do pretty well here, actually. Instead, we're getting a defensive Typhoon. I don't know about that.
Not with the state of the economies at the moment. Pink do not have the economy to support a Typhoon. If Orange I was questioning, Pink I'm absolutely saying no. Do not do this. Although that Leviathan's targeting the Typhoon and not the opposing Leviathan. Is that a wise choice, Marshall, for your money?
Oof, I think at this point, just kill the stuff that's there. I think really, you know, it's the fact that the Leviathans are in there and wrecking the base as it stands. You know, we did have pink and orange.
Oh, Pink Commander's been
economies.
found by 3 Leviathans all shooting at him at the same time.
Yeah, it's gone. He's gone.
He's popped.
And now the other one just needs to be pushed by a commander, Leviathans, and probably a couple of Barracudas. The Orcas there with the torpedo armaments will be able to threaten this commander more than enough, probably to force a GG here.
Right. Interestingly though, having said that about the Typhoons, where is the AA from Orange at this point? Apart from having the Typhoons
the opposing
own...
Typhoons.
Oh, spoke too soon. Go back home, WrongCat. You're drunk.
I wouldn't say that.
That said, they are hitting that Typhoon pretty hard. So the Leviathan, I should say, pretty hard.
But look at the base, though. Look at the base and the
at what
defending
cost?
economy.
At what cost? You're right.
You know, it's not looking good.
I'm about ready to call this one, and I think pink might be too.
I mean, it's a valiant effort to try and stay in as long as they have. But it's, you know, it's just a blockade.
Commander desperately trying to assist the T2 factory. Once that T2 factory goes down, it's all over for pink, and I think they know it.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing they can do here now. There it goes.
And there goes any chance they had at countering this onslaught.
You guys planned this well. Well, I mean, in a double spawn, I mean, you kind of got lured into separating your commanders and not taking into account the fact that this spawn here is quite as close as it is. You know, it really didn't take very long for that commander to waltz in there and just dismantle that base like a kid walking through a Lego shop. You know, it's quite something.
There we go. Pink now doing his final walk of glory straight into the welcoming arms of the Orange fleet. Although actually there's not a huge amount of anti-submarine stuff there, so it might be a very slow final walk.
It's was the spawn an accident? No. How dare you insinuate that we didn't mean to do this? Absolutely preposterous. 2 bombers in that Air Force. Really? You think that's going to work? No.
They did.
Well, it wasn't the bombers, was it? I'm going to split all the heads today.
There we go. GG. And that was Diahedri, the controversial naval-only map. Interesting, that's the first time I've seen that played as a 2v2, Marshall. And that use of an aggressive forward spawn, a complete game changer.
Yeah, it really messed things up in the early game for Team Pink. They really had no recourse from that. They lost 4 mechs, they lost the map control that came with it, and they just weren't able to contest Orange's base at all. Orange got up T2 naval scot-free there. And, well, as you can see in the ChronoCam replay here, it just fell apart very, very quickly by minute 4. In fact, by minute 3, I'd argue, because Pink just did not respond to this.
Well, there was not a lot they could do at that point. They'd lost so much build power, they lost fabricators, they'd lost eco, they lost an entire base worth of stuff. Basically, it was 2 commander spawn versus 1 at that point.
They did, but I think they played it wrong. I think they should have gone instant full-on subplay.